My life was a punchline before the mashed potatoes hit the floor. At the family Thanksgiving, my sister-in-law, Vanessa, smirked and said, loud enough for the whole table to hear, "Careful, Lisa, don't eat the kids' food again." The room froze, forks midair, as her words sliced through the holiday cheer like a serrated knife. I'm not a thief. I'm not a glutton. But at 280 pounds, working a cashier job at a gas station, I'm an easy target. Vanessa, with her Pilates-toned arms and corporate VP title, had been poking at me for years. That night, though, she crossed a line, claiming I'd swiped her son's snacks because I looked like I needed them. The family, my parents, my brother, even my own husband. Mark stared, unsure whether to laugh or scold. I felt my face burn, my hands trembling as I pushed my chair back and left the table. The accusation wasn't just a jab, it was a public execution. Vanessa painted me as a desperate, overweight loser who'd stooped to stealing from a 5-year-old. My mom tried to smooth things over, saying she didn't mean it. Lisa, but the damage was done. My nephew, Timmy, looked confused, clutching his plate like I might lunge for it. Mark just sat there, silent, his eyes on his plate. That silence hurt more than Vanessa's words. I spent the next week replaying the scene, each memory sharpening the humiliation. I'd always been the big sister-in-law, the one who didn't fit into Vanessa's world of kale smoothies and corner offices. My job at the gas station wasn't glamorous, but it paid the bills. Mark and I were saving for a house, but every paycheck felt like bailing water from a sinking ship. Vanessa's life, meanwhile, gleamed like a magazine spread perfect husband, perfect kid, perfect everything. Then, 3 weeks later, my phone rang. Vanessa's name flashed on the screen. I almost didn't answer, but curiosity won. Her voice was shaky, not the usual polished venom. "Lisa, I need your help," she said. I waited, expecting a trap. She continued, her words tumbling out. "Timmy's been sneaking food. A lot. He's hiding wrappers in his room, and I found him stealing from the pantry. I don't know what to do." I was stunned. The woman who'd humiliated me was now begging for advice. I wanted to laugh, to tell her to figure it out herself. But something in her voice, raw, desperate, stopped me. I remembered Timmy's wide eyes at dinner, not judging, but searching. Maybe he wasn't just a kid caught in his mom's drama. Maybe he was struggling too. I agreed to meet her, against my better judgment. At a coffee shop, Vanessa looked different, less armor, more human. Her eyes were red, her manicure chipped. She admitted Timmy had been acting out since her promotion last year. She'd been working late, leaving him with nannies, and he'd started hoarding food, sneaking it at night. "I thought it was just a phase," she said, voice cracking. "But it's not, and I don't know how to fix it." I could have gloated. I could have thrown her accusation back in her face. Instead, I thought about my own childhood, when Mom worked double shifts and I'd eat to fill the loneliness. I wasn't a therapist, but I knew what it felt like to be unseen. "Have you talked to him?" I asked. She shook her head, ashamed. I didn't know where to start. Over the next hour, I shared what I'd learned from my own struggles, how food could be comfort, control, or rebellion. I suggested she spend time with Timmy, not just scold him. "He's not stealing because he's hungry," I said. "He's trying to tell you something." Vanessa nodded, scribbling notes on a napkin. For the first time, she didn't look at me like I was beneath her. When I got home, Mark was waiting. "You didn't have to help her," he said. He'd been distant since Thanksgiving, and I realized he felt guilty for not defending me. I took his hand. "I didn't do it for her. I did it for Timmy." He pulled me close, and for the first time in weeks, I felt like we were a team again. Vanessa started calling more, asking for advice or just to talk. She never apologized outright, but her tone softened. One day, she invited me to dinner, not a family affair, just us and Timmy. He ran to me, hugging my legs, and I saw a kid who wasn't judging my size or my job. He just saw Aunt Lisa. At the dinner, Vanessa was different. She listened when I spoke, even laughed at my gas station stories. When Timmy spilled his juice, she didn't snap. She just cleaned it up and ruffled his hair. I saw glimpses of the sister-in-law I'd hoped she could be, but I also knew trust was a long road. Her accusation still stung, and I wasn't ready to forget. Months passed, and Timmy's sneaking slowed. Vanessa kept me updated, sometimes texting me recipes or parenting articles. I didn't fully trust her change, but I saw effort. One evening, she called again, her voice tight. "Lisa, I need to tell you something." My stomach dropped, bracing for another blow. Instead, she said, "I was wrong at Thanksgiving. I was stressed, and I took it out on you. I'm sorry." The apology didn't erase the hurt, but it cracked the wall between us. I thanked her, keeping my guard up. Healing wasn't instant, but it was a start. I thought about Timmy, about how kids see the world in truths adults complicate. Maybe he taught us both something: Vanessa to see past her pride, and me to see past my pain. This story isn't about heroes or villains. It's about flawed people trying to do better. Vanessa's accusation was cruel, but her reaching out was brave. I could have shut her out, but helping Timmy felt bigger than my pride. Life's messy, and families are messier. Sometimes the person who hurts you is the one who needs you most. What do you think? Was Vanessa's apology enough? Should Lisa forgive her or keep her distance? Share your thoughts.